All right, and we're underway. Welcome everybody to the Validator community call. Agenda today is pretty late, but we've got definitely an interesting workshop to talk about. So yeah, first Validator updates, and then we'll talk with Everstake about education workshop they're going to be doing. So first update, which I think is pretty cool, milestone. Dan highlighted this internally to us, and I think it's just fun and awesome to see. We've got 2,000 voting validators on mainnet now, which is a huge jump even from when I started at the foundation. So I think it's just cool to celebrate. 2,000 is not any different than 2005, but it's a cool milestone. It's fun to see just the network growing, and congratulations to everyone for all their hard work and success and helping to build the community. So good job, everybody. Another update I want to highlight. So you may have noticed that testnet is on 1.14.0, I think, now. That is all related to this update, which is that Quick is going to be the main focus of 1.13. whatever going forward. And because of that change, because Quick is going to be on 1.13, all the other numbers had to change in accordance with it. So the reason we're switching, well, let me back up for a sec. The plan for Quick is that we will ship it in 1.13.x. But if there's some major regression that requires us to go backward, we'll have 1.10 to fall back on. So 1.13 will be Quick by default. UDP will be turned off by default. And 1.10 will be available to revert back to if needed. So a little more details there. 1.10.38 remains the recommended release for mainnet beta. In the future, 1.13 will be rolled out. It'll most likely be a slow rollout where we'll have 5% of validators or 10%, et cetera, who are willing to try 1.13. And then eventually, when we feel comfortable and we feel like it's stable, we'll roll out to 100% of the cluster. We'll have operators on 1.13.x, which will be Quick by default. UDP will be turned off by default. Because of the desire to have 1.10 as a fallback, and because we're bumping up to 1.13, that means these other branches are changing. So on testnet, 1.11.x is transitioning to 1.14.x. Nothing really needs to be done there except for following the recommended releases on testnet. 1.11 is now obsolete, and 1.12 is just going to be skipped entirely. So this was to avoid the problem of 1.11 for testnet and then 1.13 for mainnet, which would be a confusing scenario. Any questions with that rollout plan or what the goal is there? Okay, cool. Yeah, so you should be seeing announcements for 1.13 in the future, but just to give you a heads up of kind of why they're doing that and what the point is. It's all focused on Quick. And one other thing that I should mention there is that the next release in mainnet was always going to be including Quick, but this is sort of a shift in focus for the engineering team where Quick is the sole focus for the next release. There's not going to be any other changes unless they're critical bug fixes. Quick is really the thing that they want to get out in the next release to mainnet. The next, I should say, minor version update. Another thing I want to mention, if you missed this, Tour de Sun was launched last week. Tour de Sun is an incentive program for delegate program participants. It allows people who have their testnet delegation program servers up to date and getting bonus stake to get a lock SOL incentive if they get their servers from an approved provider. Right now, it is just Edgevana, but potentially more in the future. So if you rent your server from Edgevana and if you're on the delegation program and you get bonus stake, you will get double the price of your server in lock SOL. So pretty popular program so far. We're seeing a lot of engagement, and it was kind of a a thing we were excited about internally, both for, excuse me one sec. Oof. Okay. Excited about internally, both for potential diversification issues, and then also, thank you. Also just to help out people who have been in testnet for a long time in the delegation program. Excuse me. Any questions about Tour de Sun?
That sounds like a great program, by the way. That's awesome. That's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. Question, go ahead.
Yeah, not a question about the Tour de Sun, but I was wondering if you knew any information on the LUTs or the V2 transactions coming into play anytime soon, or any update on those?
I don't have any update right now, sorry.
No worries, thank you.
I'm falling apart here, so I'm going to transition over to the Everstake team, have them talk about the workshop that they've got coming up. So I'll stop sharing here and let you all take it away.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, team. My name is Vlad. I'm head of growth at Everstake, leading marketing and growth. Everstake is one of the biggest decentralized staking provider, and we are one of the most trusted staking provider, Validator on Solana. But not sure if you all know, but Everstake is also a Ukraine-based company. And that's why when Tim and Ella reached out to us and asked if we are keen to do a workshop for Ukrainian validators, smaller validators, or just those who just start the journey as validator, we were completely in, and it sounded as a very exciting opportunity for us. So I just like to share my screen and walk you through what we have done and what we are going to do. Can you see my screen now?
Yep, we can see it.
Thanks. That's great. So what we actually did when we were approached by Ella and Team first, we started like reaching out to those Ukrainian validators we know and asking them to introduce us to other Ukrainian validators. And it appeared that there are at least 20 validators, even 21 validator, who are very much interested in learning from us in order to become better validator and like to succeed in their job, because to be a validator is a job from our perspective. So we reach out to them and we pitched them an idea of a workshop and asked them if they're interested in. It appeared that they are. So we asked them, what kind of question would you like to know? Like, what exactly would you like to learn from us? So that is how we came up with the questions in Russian and Ukrainian. Here is in translation into English. They were mostly interested in how to acquire a stake, how to acquire new delegators, how to come up with the better marketing plan or strategy. So they're very much interested in how, for example, like whether they need a website or like should they use a Twitter account, like moniker associated with the person or a company, what's the best approach here, and questions and other questions. But the most interesting part for them was and is the part with the like where we can share our DevOps expertise. We have like dozens of DevOps on board. And since those Ukrainian validators, they're kind of new validators and small validators, they really struggle in setting up everything, setting up their infrastructure and managing it. So we cut quite some questions from them around how we manage our keys, how to migrate from one server to another, how to choose a hosting provider, what kind of monitoring system do we use, and like everything actually about like the infrastructure and DevOps matters. And then the other part, what they were interested in is liquid staking on Solana. In Everstake, we have our own liquid staking product. It's called Eversol Stake Pool. So this is where we also can share some expertise and answer their questions. And then they also ask a few more other questions, like how to join Everstake team, what kind of people do you want to see on board, and like how to build a team, how to scale a team, and like how Everstake is basically doing that. So we cut all their questions, and we also discussed them with the team and Ella, and also like with our DevOps team, marketing team, product team. We have over 125 people on board, and came up with the kind of concept of validator workshop. The target audience of this validator workshop is Ukrainian validators that are based in Ukraine, or just like for some reason they relocated for now, but willing to get back to their country, their homeland, and they like to learn more about how to be a better, how to be a responsible validator, right? So we are going to host a workshop next Friday, September the 23rd, going to be at 4 p.m. Kyiv time. We are going to host it in Ukrainian, and maybe some attendance or speakers will speak Russian as well, but no English. Sorry about that. At the same time, we are going since we are already in touch with those validators, we have a common group with them. There are like 20 people in this group. And since we are in touch with them, and they are interested in like how to acquire more stake and delegators and stuff like this. And this is something that really requires some research and like hard work. So we decided that after the workshop, we would like to stay in touch with them, and maybe to do the other workshop, more practical one, in a few months when they are like quantitative, qualitative research, and when they have tested out something, trial and errors and stuff like this, so that we can like have a more practical one. And at the same time, we are going to keep in touch with them to answer their questions on Telegram, so that if they would like to show their, I don't know, new website, or like to ask us something about like the question around how to manage keys, or I don't know, how to choose a server, or for example, they encounter some problems, then we will be there for them in order to provide them with the assistance and help. Because like as a Ukraine-based company, we feel our responsibility and we love to give back to the community. We are going to have our head of DevOps on the workshop, Andrew Kravitz, and our product owner at Eversol, and I also going to join the workshop. So we are going to have 3 sessions. We are going to kick off with the session on marketing and user acquisition, as well as delegator profile. And the delegator profile here is the most interesting part from my perspective, because it really took us quite some time to come up with our unique value proposition and to better understand our delegators. And this is something that we're still working on, actually. So we are going to show them a framework, how they could better get to know their users, their delegators, and like how they could use this information in order to build their marketing strategies, and in order to provide even more value to the community and to their delegators. So we're going to talk about the jobs to be done framework that was very useful in our case, and then we are going to walk them through our actual delegator profiles. We came up with them like quite recently. We are going to share with them our key messages, like media channels that our delegators use, and a lot of useful insights that they will be able to use in order like to understand how they would like to position themselves, and what they should do to better understand their users, their delegators. Then we are going to talk with them about the tech learnings and challenges, some lessons learned by Everstake, and this session will be hosted by our head of DevOps, Andrew Kravitz, and he is going to talk about how to manage keys, about some security questions, about how to build great monitoring systems to make sure that your validator, that you know if your validator is down, right? That you know that there is a problem, that you don't wait for, I don't know, 2 to 3 days until you realize actually after the weekend it's down and like you need to do something. So we are going to teach them how to do it in the most efficient way and to address like some challenges as soon as possible actually. Then we'll walk them through our hosting experience, how like to find the best hosting service, how to talk to them, to talk to the hosting providers, and like to find a way to work with them, because some of them, they don't work with cryptocurrencies. We all know this. And then we are going to also answer some of their questions about how to enter into blockchain networks, because in our case, like adding new blockchain networks, start validating new blockchain networks was a real viral loop or something. So when we enter a new blockchain network, then we can like educate their users about like Solana, for example, and like how to stake Solana. So the holders of other cryptocurrencies, they start staking with us. And it's like the more blockchain networks you have, the bigger reach you have, and like you can reach out to more delegators and provide some very great services to them, and like to bring value to them, to make their staking experience better. And then we are going to have a short session about liquid staking and stake pools. Our product owner at Eversol, Oleg Barish, is going to tell them more about what is liquid staking, what are stake pools on Solana, like why stake pools are good for Solana, like how does our product Eversol boost the decentralization of the Solana network, and how like just in general stake pools, they help the decentralization of the network and improves its stability, quality in the end. Why they should, like since there are small validators and new validators, why they should join stake pools and how they can benefit from it, and how they can bring value to the community by joining the stake pools. And of course, why delegators should pick stake pools over validators and how they're going to benefit from it. So we're going to have 3 sessions: marketing, tech, and stake pools. And after that, we will still keep in touch with them on Telegram to answer all their questions. And if we see any interest, like in learning more from us, or like to let us listen to their pitch and provide some feedback, then we are going to organize a new workshop in 1 to 2 months, or maybe a series of workshops. So yeah, this is where we are standing at. And I would love to hear your perspective and like what you guys think about it, and have you had any experience of organizing such local workshops for validators from your countries and regions? Would be very beneficial, and love to learn from you as well.
I'm excited to see what happens. Sounds like people are also positive, but looking forward to seeing how it goes.
I wish I spoke Ukrainian. That's what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah, I was just about to say that no worries, we're going to come up with the recap of this workshop. I think that we are going to share some sensitive data and information with them, but we'll see what we can do, and like we'd like to share it with the global community as well, so that everyone can benefit from it. We are not sure if our experience is the best one, right? Everyone makes mistakes, but at least we can like start sharing, like to learning from each other. And yeah, we are very much excited about it. So Team Ella, thanks for the opportunity, and look forward to sharing our knowledge with you guys.
Yeah, I think it's great. You guys are doing that. Good job.
Cool.
Yeah,
all right, well,
thanks. By the way,
questions? Oh, go ahead, Vlad.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry. No, I was just about to say that we're going to right now, we're going to announce our panel discussion with Austin Federa tomorrow, not tomorrow, on Saturday, at the Harvard Club of New York. We are going to speak about Ukrainian fundraising, and especially about Ukraine Soul. So it's like a DAO based on Solana that help us raise millions of dollars. So if you happen to be in the New York City, love to have you on at the event. And yeah, stay tuned. And thanks a lot for your support. We really appreciate Solana community, and you guys really help us to in this war and like protect our country. Thanks a lot.
All right. Well, thank you, Vlad. Thank you for everyone coming. And I will see you all next week. Definitely check out that workshop if you're in Ukraine. Bye.
Thank you.
Move back.